Betel is a charity that works with people with long-term addiction issues, life controlling issues. We provide residences where people come and stay free of charge. With Anchor Point, we're trying to push that out into more artistic areas. So we really have a heart for the creative arts. So with dance classes, acting classes, music performance. So that's our kind of heart for this building, is to be able to take what we do in terms of life skilling people, give people something to aspire to.
We've installed everything that is AV related in this building. With it being one building with multiple functions, we needed to tie everything together with a few different systems that were consistent and that were user friendly. So that involves us putting in systems like Allen Heath's dLive system and an AHM which runs the rest of the building. There's an SQ here, so maintaining that consistency between different operators in different places at different times. So the AHM feeds different spaces within the building, and those spaces, some of them have ceiling speakers, which we used Audac ceiling speakers, others have wall speakers, so there's a mixture of a bit of EV speakers in the cafe. In this main auditorium and throughout the performance spaces we've put KB2 in, which serves all areas really well and is bossed in loud when it needs to be and detailed when it needs to be to serve conferencing and loud gigs and recordings and all that kind of stuff. But hanging it all together audio-wise is the Allen Heath stuff. So you've got AHM at the centre of the whole building and IP1s in various locations where they can just choose a source and choose the volume in their own room. The custom control kind of hangs over the whole lot, so the techs can wander around with a wireless device and just turn up rooms, choose different sources in rooms as they're setting up the building for whatever the day's activities are. I've never seen a building like it. It's unique in many respects. We're sitting at the moment in a 600 odd seater auditorium, which can open up at the back to be a 1,000 seater auditorium. It has a separate dance space, theatre space, black box theatre, art space, meeting rooms, cafe, catering kitchens. It's got soft play, it's got community hairdressing salon. It's got all sorts of stuff all bundled into one building.
My role as like the technical guy is to kind of explore what we have and be able to train our volunteers to use it, or to set up things in a way that our non-technical people can use, because as a charity we have a lot of people coming in who don't have a big technical background. Being able to kind of play with custom control to make a simple smartphone layout where people could choose a room, choose what they want in the room, turn it up and down from a phone, means our events overseers can just go dial in a source to a room, walk away, leave it, and know it's set for the person who's hiring it. Or the kids workers, if they're in a soft play and they want to hear the church meeting that's happening in this auditorium, they can just go to the IP on the wall, click it and turn it, and they've got the audio feed from the main room coming in. It's kind of that simple. It fades into the background a little bit. You don't really see it, but it just makes everything work really well together.
Every bit of equipment that processes audio pretty much has a Dante card in it here. So the dLive is Dante enabled, the SQ, the AHM, and then all the amps power soft, so they're Dante kind of natively. And we chose all that on purpose to make sure that there was a Dante backbone throughout the whole of every space. Again, not just because of the audio quality, but because of the flexibility. Not having had a facility like this before, the guys weren't sure exactly how they were going to use it. Nobody ever is until they get into a space and learn how it is to live in it. And so making sure that there's enough to be able to do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it in the future, was really important from the start. The auditorium where we are now is designed as a hireable space, so it needed to be rider-friendly systems that work both for people coming in and are easy to patch into, but also for a church that meets here every Sunday, which is part of the charity as well. So the church on a Sunday is run by volunteers, and they needed something that was user-friendly but still at a great level, and that thing also needed to be rider-friendly and able to be used by gigs and whoever else wants to hire this space, which is increasingly hired by some quite high profile customers in and around the Birmingham area. And so dLive was a natural choice for that, because it gives you plenty of flexibility of ins and outs. It's easy to use, you can teach church people to use it, but it's also recognised as a rider friendly desk for anybody who's coming in and wants to use it. It made sense to put a dLive in. And then there's an SQ which kind of floats around the building. It can be used in various spaces, but is often used in this space just to give the volunteers control of their ears, basically. So it patches into the dLive and they can use the SQ app just to control their own in-ears without having to have a separate monitor engineer for church on a Sunday. So there's plenty of flexibility in the system, and that was always the key. It needed to be professional but flexible and easy to use, and dLive and SQ combined are a pretty formidable combination that is really hard to beat.
We were involved with the NoiseBoys from the start, and we've really relied on their expertise, because this is something way beyond what we could have done ourselves. You know, we had a dream and a vision of something, and it was just so far beyond what we could have brought to life ourselves. And what we've ended up with has been, it's met and exceeded our expectations. I think it's a blast when I walk around here and look at all the bits and pieces. It just feels like this is great. This is what we wanted, and that's a testament to these guys, because they have really. They really came through right from the start. It's been a pleasure to work with these guys.